Good morning, everyone. Dave and Diane Mancl, thank you for being with us and letting us interview you on our little series of getting to know our people. So just to let you know, friends, I've got a handful of different questions to ask them, but if you have other questions, just add them to the chat and we'll try to get to them. So yeah.
Originally, you said we would have vetted questions.
I know I did, but I didn't feel well yesterday.
But we heard Mary lived last week. We figure it's going to be kind of similar. So.
It's not, like just get to know you stuff. Like we'll jump in. Where are y'all from? Because you're not from Richmond.
All right, yeah. So we're from Wisconsin. I grew up and was raised. Yeah. We found out we had accents after we moved here, so appreciate that. But I grew up and was raised in Milwaukee, lived there my whole life until 2018, and then we moved out here for my job. So I worked for Capital One in the IT department. And Diane?
I grew up in La Crosse along the Mississippi, the western side of the state, and moved to Milwaukee about 25 years ago. And then moved here with Dave 2 years ago.
Where in Milwaukee were you guys?
The south side.
My dad
southwest
grew up
side.
in Whitefish Bay.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's
somewhere.
Who did?
My father.
Yeah, that's on the northern side suburb.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's a nice town. It's similar in size and kind of feel of Richmond, actually.
Bigger.
But yeah, it's probably a little bigger, I'm guessing.
Yeah. So you moved here in 2018.
Yeah, in December of 2018, yes.
Okay. So at least you got a little bit of a pre-pandemic feel for Richmond before lockdown.
Yes. And that was the plan. It was like, okay, we'll move out here till I'm 65 and can retire, and we'll see the sights of Virginia and all the great things it has to offer. And which was going great. We got around and saw quite a few things, and all of a sudden COVID hits and we're like, wow, this is not so much fun, But prior to that, we did find, 7th Street Christian Church the Christmas before last.
That's right.
Christmas Eve service. So, and that's really helped us, I think, get through everything, that
if we hadn't met all of you, it would have been very bleak here.
Aw,
yeah.
How did y'all find 7th Street? I think I remember the story, but not everyone knows that story.
Do you want to go on?
Well, I don't know. We're attending the ELCA Lutheran Church in Milwaukee, and we're really involved there. And then we were looking for a church here, and there are hardly any of those churches here. And we went to the few that we found, and we didn't really care for the feel of them. They're very traditional, and I don't know, that didn't seem real progressive. And we just kept shopping around, and we were looking for I don't know what did you look up?
Well, we gave up to tell you the truth.
Like, we're not going to find it.
And we're like, kind of disappointed for sure. And then, as it was nearing Christmas, we checked out the website for 7th Street, and we're like, wow. And, I don't know what was exactly on there, the message and like for the disciples of Christ and things, and we just thought, well, we'll give it a shot. And, we've been going ever since. Yeah.
That's right. You came
it was
Christmas
just,
Eve.
What's that?
You came Christmas Eve. That was your first service. And then and you, there's no going back. I don't know that you've missed many Sundays since then.
There's been a few. I know you're keeping track, Holly. So we try to make it. But it was just refreshing, and the people were so welcoming and open, and it was just really nice. So.
Oh, well, we're glad that you're here for as long as you're here. I know that there are plans once you retire to go back home, and that has a lot to do with your family, which was a question. I'd love, tell us about your family, children or grandbabies or anything like that.
Well, I have one daughter from a previous marriage. She's 24, working on her master's degree in psychology, doing it online now. She went to school in Colorado before that for her undergrad. So just, we're missing them big time too, on top of everything. But
and our families of origin are there too, but.
Yeah, and she's single.
Yeah, I have two daughters who are 27 and 24. Emily will be 24 next month. And my oldest is married. She's an ER nurse.
Oh,
And
wow.
Emily is finding herself. She has a degree in minority and women's studies and public administration, but she is a manager at Starbucks for the time being.
She'll find her way. That seems
Yes.
actually like a degree that it's on the precipice, right? Like I would think right now with all that's going
Mhm.
on that there could be some opportunities there.
Yeah, no
Uh,
grandkids.
No grandkids
No
yet.
grandkids yet.
Grandcat and grand Doug.
You're not alone. I think there's many
Oh,
people.
3 grandcats. I forgot.
And what cats?
3 grandcats. Sorry,
3
I forgot about
grandcats.
Claudia's. Yeah.
Okay. Now, and do y'all have any pets?
No.
No pets.
Diane wants to get a cat, but I'm like, nah, we'll get one when we move back. You know.
I'm really allergic. We had one. We had to get rid of it. So,
Oh,
but and we rent, so we can't really have one where we are. So.
okay. Yeah. So what do y'all like about Richmond? Anything?
Okay. Well, the weather for one, but
Not summer.
I don't know. I still love the summer. I don't know. The winters in Wisconsin are so short. I mean, it's a blink of an eye.
Summer.
The summers, it's a blink of an eye. And,
Yeah.
I keep saying, well, I was thinking today, like blood is thicker than weather though, because we're going to leave behind this nicer weather for Wisconsin, but.
Or they've been having a ton of snow and super cold weather this year. So.
But,
And that's what you want. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I like snow. I'll just stay inside and look at it.
Yeah, it's so pretty, but I don't know. There's the history here, and the scenery here with the mountains, and there's been some great restaurants we've discovered before COVID and things.
You got the ocean and the mountains and all the. It's beautiful. There's a lot of beautiful hiking and.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's really nice.
Yeah, there's something just magical about Virginia in general. So it's really neat with all of its history, and as Brett always likes to remind me, first in everything, always number one. And
we
did that first. We actually made bourbon first. I'm like, that's because Kentucky used to be part of Virginia. So like,
oh boy. And definitely love the politics here better than Wisconsin.
Yeah.
We'll just leave it at that. So
well, we've got some people who are inviting your family to come down here instead of y'all moving back to Wisconsin. So
we've tried that. We've asked Emily for sure, and they've all visited here. Even before and after COVID, actually. But I don't know. I don't think we're going to be able to talk them into it. But,
you don't think so? How many years might we have you for?
Well.
Oh gosh.
Well, we were thinking maybe we want to go back in another year.
Another year. Okay.
Yeah,
I understand.
We don't know. We were going to stay longer, but Dave's getting sick of working.
Well, yeah. And with COVID, it's just, I don't know. And we're missing our kids big time.
Yeah.
I know. That's what's challenging, right? Like the plans that perhaps you laid out. I think about Jennifer Sommerfeld, who also had been with us for about a year and came about the same time that y'all did, and had just moved here, but immediately came when COVID hit. And that's just really challenging to, I think, move and uproot your life into a new place during this pandemic. And so everything that we've ever questioned, right? Like we're just asking different questions out of this pandemic. What's important to us? A lot of people, Terry Cheney, I don't know if she's on the call yet, but like she chose to retire during this pandemic. Like we evaluate what our priorities are.
Right. And with work from home, I've been working from home since last March.
Yeah.
And, it's just, I don't know. Like last week, this past week was a short week because we had the holiday off, I believe. And it's like it's all running together now. I can't even remember if that was the holiday or not. Yeah. But it seems like such a long week. It did not seem like a short week at all. And plus I'm on call. I get we're on call rotation. I was woken up last
Oh,
night.
he was up all night, all night.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh
so,
gosh. Yeah. So when it's not like when we were in our 20s and like staying up till 4 or 5 in the morning was amazing. Now you're like, I'm so tired.
right.
It's not fun anymore.
Right.
I'm curious, does anyone else have questions for the Mancls?
Yeah, what does Diane do?
Or what does Diane do?
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
I work at Essex Bank in loan operations. That behind the scenes stuff, doing your loans, managing your loans.
That's important work.
It is.
It is crazy now with all those PPP loans from the SBA for the businesses and all that. So,
Oh, has that made things, I guess, a
oh
little
yes, very crazy,
very crazy. Okay. Okay.
very busy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And are you able to work from home or do you have to go into the office?
I am able to work from home, but my boss likes us there, so I work from home 1 or 2 days a week, and then I go.
And then go in. Yeah.
Yeah, Diane was working from home too up until like what, late summer, early fall. Yeah.
September.
But then, yeah, all of a sudden I'm like, oh, great, I'm working from home, avoiding things, but she's going in. And she had a scare too, where one of the,
Yes, the girl I was training, because I got a different position, and I was training this girl to do some of my duties, and she got COVID, so I had to be quarantined for 2 weeks.
No
Yeah, we
fun.
Yeah,
No fun. Oh
we
my
tested
God.
negative. So.
yeah, we took a test. We're good. So.
That's good. Oh, Cheryl wants to know a nosy question. How did y'all meet? You seem happy and romantic.
So you know it's not our first marriage. kidding.
I'm not sure how
I'm just kidding. No, we were both been married before. We met. Well, you want me to tell it?
Yeah, go ahead.
I got divorced from my first husband in 2000. So I was living on my own with my girls for years. And Dave was going through a divorce, and his best friend was married to my cousin. And my cousin's husband contacted me and said his friend was going through this divorce and I should meet him and blah, blah. And at that point, I had already been like, I don't care if I meet anybody. I don't really, no, I'm not interested. Thank you. And he goes, well, I already gave him your email and Facebook contact. So here about an hour later, I have an email from Dave, chitty chat, and introducing himself. And we emailed back and forth for about a month. And then we met for dinner and hit it off, and everything is history.
Ah,
So we've been married, we'll be 7 years in May. We've been married.
7 years. That's
Mhm.
great. Yeah, y'all always seem so cute and happy and all of that.
Thank you. Well, I like to think we are.
No, it's wonderful. That's great. What other questions do y'all have? I'm curious, before COVID and y'all were able to do a little bit of traveling in Virginia, like what was the favorite place that you visited in Virginia?
Let's see. Well, I don't know, maybe Washington, D.C. was
That's not
nice.
Virginia.
I know, but it's close. I count it as that. The Blue Ridge Mountains and Shenandoah Mountains were nice. I mean, that was beautiful.
Shenandoah Parkway, yeah.
Shenandoah Parkway.
Yeah.
Norfolk is cool.
Yeah. So.
I don't know. We haven't gotten to see too much. We went to Virginia Beach once. We went to Norfolk a couple times.
Yeah.
Oh,
Haven't made it to the Outer Banks. I heard that's super nice,
Yeah.
but that's outside of
North
Virginia
Carolina,
too.
yeah.
But being from North Carolina, I highly recommend going to the Outer Banks. So you got to do that before you leave.
And I actually like going down by the river and the Hollywood Cemetery. I like walking around there.
If you ever go, let me know. I live in Oregon Hill. I go to
Okay.
I do the cemetery, walk the cemetery.
Yeah, it's very pretty around there.
And there's a 7th Street Christian Church area in Hollywood. I don't know if you've seen it. It'd be difficult for me to describe where it is, but there's a bench actually that Stuart Slusher put up for his Eagle Scout project, Alex's son, and it's really beautiful and peaceful. So keep an eye out next time you're there for the 7th Street little plot area. So
Now, Cheryl, is Sandbridge the same as Natural Bridge?
No, it's
Oh, yeah,
actually,
we were-
it's down from Virginia Beach, but it keeps you in Virginia. You don't have to go to the Outer Banks. So we can
That's right.
keep maximizing Virginia.
Oh.
Yeah, we went to the High Bridge place too. That was cool.
Oh, yeah.
Natural-
Hybrid.
Bridge place.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
took our
that's
bikes out there.
Yeah. Oh, cool. So you'll bike.
And then
Yeah, we do a
Bridge,
little bicycling, a little hiking, not super serious at all, but we try to get out.
I wonder if there's a handful of us at 7th Street that do some cycling. I wonder if that's like as the weather gets warmer, if that's
Oh,
an
yeah.
activity we could organize, like a little tour around Richmond or something. That would be really fun. It's so like if COVID's, well, likely COVID will still be a thing, but that's a social distancing activity we could do.
Yeah.
That could be fun. Nice to know
Yeah.
you and I know Hogan Brock, he and his wife got
Yeah.
a bicycle, and the Sanderfords. Anyone else on this call that likes to cycle? Mary Lib Morgan likes to cycle. I bet we could find a bike share program even,
We are talking low tech biking, right?
Oh
Not,
yeah.
not all the gear and the.
No.
That
Like
is not us.
no, I'm thinking like a 5-mile tour of Richmond that ends up at a brewery. That's
Perfect.
I'm thinking.
I'll drive to the brewery and meet you there.
And there you go. Alex says the Capitol Trail is nice. That's true. That's
Oh,
We
really
did part of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did like a few miles on that.
Mhm.
Nice and flat.
And it's
Yeah.
flat. That's right. Amen. That's right. That's the most important part. You never, Richmond is deceiving where all of a sudden you're like, where's this hill coming from? Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Right.
So, Hogan, my last question, Hogan is asking, what are you looking forward to in retirement and anywhere you want to travel?
I don't know. I mean, I used to fish quite a bit and stuff. I think I might, take up fishing again, something like that. And traveling, I know I would just love to get out to California, see the redwoods, and
I'd like to go to Alaska too. I don't know.
Yeah.
I hear those
Really wanna
Alaskan cruises are really amazing.
Yeah.
They are well worth it.
Have you been, Alex
I
Slusher?
have. I've been up there a couple of times. I have a friend that lives in Anchorage, and I took the
Oh.
cruise down the last time I visited her, and it's the way to see the Inward Passage and the glaciers. It's really fun.
That's
And
what
I'm not
I've
a huge
heard. I've
cruise
heard it's not
fan,
like
but
a
that's-
traditional,
That's one way to-
yeah, I hear it's not like a traditional cruise, that it's just breathtaking and amazing. So maybe that's
Hmm.
something. I mean,
Yeah,
even
that
if you're
might
not
be
a cruise type of person, that's what I hear. I hear like people who don't like cruises love the Alaskan cruise. So
If you do an Alaskan cruise though, do some land portion with it.
Hmm.
Because you
Definitely.
can get a combination.
and
Yeah.
And
Pat
getting a
would know
cabin with
because
a-
Pat could
on the-
write a travel book.
The balcony. to
Yes.
Watch everything go by.
Dave's actually traveled quite a bit prior to me, so he's
Little
lucky.
We'll
Well,
do some more.
yeah, COVID, yes, definitely you can do some more. And I've had luck traveling within Richmond or within Virginia, just doing Airbnbs versus like hotels. Like that's
Yeah.
nice to just keep our sanity in some respect, right? It's which is one of my questions is like, how are you staying sane through this pandemic? What's bringing you joy?
Well, Friday nights we have cocktails and dance around our kitchen and play a lot of music. We have our own little dance party.
That's great.
I love that.
Church, you all are helping immensely, and
DoorDash, lifesaver.
It's like, yeah, the small joys these days, right?
Yeah.
We're like, we'll take anything. Yeah. You're like, I'm excited now when my grocery delivery actually lands on my porch instead of like some other porch. And I'm like, oh, well done. Yay, small
Yeah.
miracles.
Well, it's funny too. You're waiting for your order, and I'll see the guy pull up. I'll go out, and then all of a sudden the neighbor's like, "Oh, I think that's mine. Is that from the pizza place or what? Whatever it is." And it's like, God.
Well, thank you guys so much. I want to, as I always do, like to create a little bit of space for people to get any supplies that they may need for worship. But thank you guys so much for
you.
joining us today. It was
welcome.
great
Thank
to
you.
get to know y'all a little bit better. Next week is Hogan, and I'm hoping his lovely bride Rachel will also join him. I'm putting him on the spot. We've never discussed that, but if not, that's okay. But next week is Hogan, and we'll probably keep filling these Sunday spots with different interviews because of old members and new members, because I just think people are really enjoying it. It's been fun to stay connected in this way. So anyway, yeah, we are so glad that you're part of 7th Street for as long as we have you. And the beauty of, I think, COVID is that we'll continue to have some online presence for, even when we go back in person. So hopefully maybe you can still choose to be a part of 7th Street or come visit every once in a while, even if when you move away.
And to be honest, that's what we'll really miss too about
Yes.
Virginia, because I think we feel better about 7th Street than we do our old churches
Yeah.
in
Well,
Milwaukee.
that's nice to hear. Wow. Well, thank you guys again.